listening to this Tuesday night live stream with your host, Erin Vasquez, and this is all about how to get out of your own way and live your true purpose. Tonight you might hear some noises in the background, and that would be my adorable 4-month-old son. I believe artists and creatives deserve to live a prosperous life. And what I do as a life coach for artists and other creatives is I get them out of the idea that they're going to be a broke artist and all of the crazy ideas that go along with that, and teach them a different way to think so that they can start being prosperous and happy. Because what happens when we're getting in our own way, when we live kind of like by the idea of these lies, it really affects our mental health. And I've seen so many people become depressed or be really anxious. I used to be one of them. And I made it my life's mission once I figured out how to help, to really help. So, with that being said, for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Erin Vasquez. I'm a Master Certified Life Coach in the Neurolinguistic Programming discipline, meaning, my son's very excited about that, meaning that, well, it's just a fancy way of saying that I help people use language to basically create the life that they've always dreamed of creating. So if you've been hanging out on my page, or if you've hung out with me on other live streams, or you've hung out with me on my YouTube, you might have heard me say that thoughts are things. And if you think about it, that thoughts are things. Thoughts are comprised of language. So if we can change our language, we can change our thoughts. And if our thoughts actually lead to our feelings, which lead to our actions, which actually create the results that we get in life, by using the language that we choose to form our thoughts, by changing it, we can in effect change our reality. It might sound too simple, but we've also been sold on the lie. My baby is a part of this one. There's nothing else to say about it. We've also been sold on the lie that things need to be complicated, right? And that change needs to be some arduous, huge process that takes a really long time. And that's simply not the truth. Change can happen in an instant when you're ready and when you decide that it can be that way, right? Hi, sweetie. Hi. 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 So what we're going to go over tonight actually ties into that, because all of this starts with thoughts, and this is something that I see with so many different people. And then I got a private message the other day saying, this is what's going on, and the person didn't want to talk about it publicly because there's a lot of shame. But what I want to say is that if you feel like you're the only one, if you feel like there's something wrong with you simply because you follow the social media of people who do what you want to do, and they're like more successful than you, they're further along down the road than you, I want to tell you something. They had their dark moments of the soul. They had their moments of doubt. They had their come to Jesus, like falling to the knees, trying to figure out what to do, how to get over an obstacle, and they had to change their thinking and their language around certain situations in order for them to keep going. There's simply no other way. So, with that being said, 6 minutes past, I am going to get started. So the first thing that I want to talk about is why it is that you believe it's difficult to get what you want in life, and what to do about it. So this kind of goes back to a lie that we've been sold, that that change has to take a really long time. We've also been sold, most of us have been sold a lie that things need to be difficult in order to be worthwhile. So what I'm trying to think of some of the like common held sayings that would go along with this idea, like um, everything good in life, or like nothing good comes for free, or something like that, or nothing good comes easy. There's a lot out there about like the struggle is real, or the hustle is real. Nothing wrong with hustling, and if you're struggling, God bless you, you know, like I totally get it. I've totally been there. But what I'm trying to bring to mind are that there's these commonly held beliefs that can be passed down, either through family, through religion, through school, through through the social circles that we hang out with. If we see people who are struggling to get what they want, we might feel guilty if we as creative thinkers are able to see a better way, something that makes more sense to us but would get us there in a faster way, and then we don't suffer for our success. This has happened to me a couple of times. So I've had my coaching business for a little over a year and a half, and for a while it was hustle, 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 and it wasn't necessarily hard because I was doing what I loved, but I was realizing that it wasn't sustainable. And then I was making a new decision and thinking about it, changing my thoughts around it, changing the language around it, that things could be easy. So I'm still on this app. It's called Shaper. It's like LinkedIn and Tinder had a baby, right? So it's totally a professional space. And I started noticing that I was being contacted by people who really wanted to sign up for my services. And what I was thinking was like, it takes a while to build a business, it takes a while to build a client base, you have to nurture a lead for 90 days so they really get to know, like, and trust you. But what was happening was people after a half hour were like, okay, how do I sign up with you? It was so easy. And when it first started, I actually talked a couple of people out of my services because I was like, let's slow it down, let's do this, let's do that, because I believed that it had to be more complicated than it actually was. So here was the universe, God, angels, universe, whatever you want to say, saying, hey, here you go. Here are the people that you're really excited about serving. Here are the people who are excited about you serving, who want to exchange money for services. And I was just turning it away because I had a belief that it had to be more difficult. And, you know, as an artist, there's so many stories out there about artists who have been struggling and the broke artist, and it's almost romanticized, right? So if you feel like what you want in life can't come without a struggle, or that it has to be difficult, this is the exercise, or that it has to be difficult for you to achieve what you want to achieve. Whether you're an artist, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're wondering how to improve your relationship, this fundamentally is all the same. I want you to look at the story around why it has to be difficult, right? What are the beliefs that have been handed down from either previous generations, from your social circle, from your religion? Is there something in your religion about being humble, about being poor, about the meek will inherit the earth, or money is the root of all evil? Look at all of these look at all of these beliefs without judgment, and just start to become aware that they are there. And once the awareness is there, you can take the next step. So why it is that you believe that it's difficult to have the life that you want to. All right, just data dump all the beliefs. Data dump all of the beliefs. And then take a look at them. And I suggest doing this in a journal. And take a look at all of them and start journaling with this question in mind. First of all, set the intention that you're willing to see it a different way. Sit with it, meditate with it, look at that belief and say, I am willing to see this a different way, right? Declare it to the universe. And then journal on it. And if you want, if this is helpful, this has been really helpful for me, and I'm not even particularly religious, but I will say, God, angels, universe, I'm willing to see this a different way. Please guide me. And then I just start writing. Like, what is something different? So in terms of, like, when I was basically talking people out of hiring me, I had to sit back and say, all right, the belief is that it should take longer to convince someone of my own value. Okay, and do this for yourself. I'm not here to like convince you, like I'm just showing you that even though I've got it all down and I'm the expert, which I am, I get to go through these exercises a lot. So what did I get to look at? Why did I believe that it had to be more difficult for me to receive my clients? Well, there were all sorts of things going on. That money is hard to come by. A little bit of fear of receiving money and receiving success. How is that going to shift my power dynamic? How is that going to require me to step up and show up in a completely different way? I'm multitasking. To step up and show up in a completely different way, right? So you start identifying all of these fears around the beliefs, and you'll see that it's a multi-layered thing. And if you're watching this and you have more questions about it, please let me know, because it's simple, but it's not easy, right? Like, again, we've been sold the lie that everything has to be really complicated and difficult. So here I am saying, like, just journal your way into a new way of thinking. And it might be like, dude, why? No, that just doesn't work. And so either post something on my wall or in the event comments, in the event discussion, or private message me if you don't feel like exposing kind of your thoughts and fears to the community. That's totally fine, and I'll be happy to help you out. But you start looking at it and you look at like how layered everything is, and thanks for being patient with me while I take care of my little guy. You look at how layered everything is, and no wonder it's so embedded that you think that it needs to be difficult in order to get what you want in life. So here are a couple of different beliefs that you can just start playing with, and even like trick yourself into believing it. Like, at first it's going to feel like you're lying to yourself, and hi sweetie. At first it's going to feel like you're lying to yourself. So say like a couple of different other beliefs that are really good, and I get a lot of these from Amanda Francis, but some of them are people love to pay me money. So if you're an artist, people love to pay me for my artwork. My artwork changes the world, so it's worthy of massive compensation. My artwork is of high service and worthy of massive compensation. I'm grateful for everything that I have, and I appreciate more. Remember, like, gratitude is the key to instant abundance. And let's see, things get to be easy for me. That's a really, really good writing exercise right there. If things got to be easy for you, if you were able to get what you want in life with ease, with grace, with a mood of just like flow, what would that be like for you? And feel those feelings, like get into those feelings and really imagine that for yourself, okay? So I'm gonna leave that right there. And there's no one on live. Let me see if there's anything in the discussion real quick. No one on live. see what's going on over here.